Hello again from Scouse Farm. I'm in pretty much the border of town in Everton, and I'm going to go do a little video to show you some nice buildings, but also a little bit of history about Liverpool that I recently found out. And it's one of many I've also been discovering since doing these videos, one of many firsts. So it's either like a first for the UK that something happened in Liverpool, or even the first for the planet that some things either happened or were invented by people from Liverpool. This is a modern building, so that's enough of that, and we'll carry on walking. But what I want to talk about today is in the 1800s, probably, well, obviously even before that, the plight of children in areas where there wasn't much wealth was quite terrible. And you don't have to dig that far in the history books to see quite horrific examples of like old school child abuse, from sending kids up to work sweeping out chimneys. Obviously that is going to affect the breathing, and also working in factories. And if they couldn't find any way to make money, they end up begging on the streets and doing all sorts of other things. So the plight of the children of Liverpool was no different from that in other places of the world. And it's not actually that long ago, the 1800s, in terms of history, but the conditions with the wealth that was coming into the city were just disproportionate to the lives of the children who lived in the city that was the benefactor of so much international trade and wealth. So in 1881, a letter was written to, and it is quite bizarre when you think about it, but a letter was written to the Liverpool Mercury, which was I imagine the paper of Liverpool at the time, and it was by Reverend George State, Staite. And in the letter to the Mercury, he wrote, "Whilst we have a society for the prevention of cruelty to animals, can we not do something to prevent cruelty to children?" ? And this letter, as I say, was written in 1881, and a little bit of discussion happened, and fast forward a couple of years, and in 1883 Thomas Agnew visited New York and discovered there was a children's charity in New York where they obviously looked after children and provided some sort of shelter for them, etc. And in Liverpool a town hall meeting occurred, and on the 19th of April 1883 the first ever children's charity in the UK was set up, known as the Liverpool Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. And it existed, as I say, as the first children's charity in the UK, and it carried on as being the first until 1899, when the LSPCC, which we'll all know today, come into being, which was basically on the back of the Liverpool Children's Charity becoming such a model for the rest of the UK. Other cities started copying it. And when you look at this building now, at the top you'll see it says Liverpool Hope University, but it wasn't always a university building, because it was donated for the purpose, you go around the front, for the purposes of using this building as the first children's charity. And it was donated by Adam Cliff. Oh, it is still a lovely building. Let me go around here. We're on the main road, but we'll go around the back in a minute. I won't have to shout as much. And it was donated by Adam Cliff, and I think it was like the late 1800s. I haven't got the exact dates that he donated it, but he was a wealthy merchant, no doubt something to do with shipping, I'm not sure. But he donated this building, which was what, I don't know if it was his property or his offices, but it's now Liverpool Hope University. And I think it's called Hope University because you hope that by the time you draw your state pension, you've paid off your student loan. And it's still a beautiful building, as opposed to that new build you've seen around the corner. But the fact that the model that started in Liverpool was then picked up, and it should be a little bit quieter when I get round here. As you can see from the sign, we're coming into Everton now. But the model was picked up and other children's charities were created in Manchester and elsewhere. And then the NSPCC took up the rest of the country, but Liverpool was excluded. So Liverpool and Birkenhead, and at the time Bootle, because Bootle wasn't part of like Liverpool and still Sefton, they were allowed to operate independently until 1953, when the NSPCC then absorbed every children's charity within the country, and it became, as we all know today, the one-stop charity, the NSPCC. And there's still NSPCC buildings somewhere around here. I think Liverpool's one. But the fact that it started in Liverpool is a UK first, which was news to me. While I'm here, moving on from the history, I'll just show you a few more, because it's right close to it. Wait till you see this building, which is an old college, and it is unbelievable. First off, this one here looks like an old Roman building. I think looks like a bank or something. I'm not sure what it used to be. Looks like it would have been a bank. I don't know why, but that's what jumps into my head. But look at this. And this is some old college that is now private apartments, so it's not used for the purposes of education any longer. But what an incredible building. It is absolutely fantastic. Imagine this in a country setting and you're trotting up to it in your horse and cart. It would be like approaching it. Well, what it is a castle effectively. It's got so many architectural features of a castle. See if I can zoom into the top for you. There's a figure up there somewhere, a statue of someone or other. Shame it's not a better day weather-wise to give you a good look, but it is December, so the skies are grey. I'll have to go up to the front. And yeah, I'm learning so many facts about Liverpool. Some of them are not really significant, but they're still firsts. So in and of itself, it's significant to be a first, to have an invention that's used across the world started off in Liverpool. Like for those who grew up in the 80s, as kids we used to have what were called dinky cars, D-I-N-K-Y, and just little metal toy cars, and they were from Liverpool, so they were at least created by Frank Hornby, who is also famous for the railway sets, you know, the kids' toys, or the train sets for that. It's absolutely great architectural features. So yeah, he created dinky toys and also the train set and Meccano. So if anyone's ever used one of them do-it-yourself, build a car, build a train, build a tractor Meccano sets, that's again from Frank Hornby from Liverpool. And their factory to make that Meccano was actually in Binns Road near Rathbone Park, which is where you'll know from previous videos that I used to play around up there when I was a kid. I'm from Old Swan. So there you have an absolutely beautiful college building, which is now flats. Don't know if any are for sale, but if you want to live in there, the last time I checked, it is a private block of apartments now. But I imagine the service charge is quite high to live in there. The maintenance wouldn't be cheap. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you're all having a great Christmas. Liverpool is the first children's charity in the UK. So have yourselves a great day. The Scouse Farm. We'll see you all again soon.